Alright, it's finally done. My GWBASIC mouse library, or just a few routines basically, but good enough to give you a mouse support in GWBASIC. As you can see, I can move the mouse around. I'm getting coordinates from the mouse. If I click on the buttons, I'm getting the status. Left mouse button 1, right 2. If I hold them together 3. I don't think it reads the mouse wheel, but that's good enough for GWBASIC. Anyway, let's take a look at the actual code now. And here's the assembler code. So assembler is one of those things that I've been trying to learn for years, but can never quite get it. But I think this year will be the year I managed to do something useful. So this actually makes a little bit of sense now, not too much, but let me just go over it. In order to get GWBASIC to understand this code, you have to write it a certain way. So you have to create a procedure here in this method, and you got to do a few things with these registers. But basically, I'm handling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different actions, and it's to initialize the mouse, show the mouse, hide the mouse, get the status, and set the mouse shape and the hotspot basically. And all I'm doing here is just basically doing a comparison of the values that pass to the routine. And just, if you know assembler, you can read this. My assembler, I try to be very verbal with it, so you should be able to understand it if you know a little bit of assembler. I've left it open so that anything missing, additional functions for the mouse can be added. You just create the new function and just add it here or here, and you basically jump to it. You do a comparison of the accumulator value, and you jump to the routine and fill in the holes basically. But that's the assembler part. Maybe another time we'll go through the whole compiling process and what tools you need. But the end result is this bit of code here. So after it gets compiled into an object file, we convert it into a comp file. And then basically we convert that com file into data statements that we read into an array. And then once we read it into an array, we can use the call procedure or the call function to call this routine. So this is what you see right here. So if we start from the very top, setting up the array to be 120 integers. I actually only need half of that, but I just left it in there just to be sure. But if you're writing your own programs, it doesn't have to be this big. It only needs to be 100 and let's see what we got here. Well, only 97 bytes actually. So if you round it up, it should be 40, 44, no, 40, 48, 49, 49 integers basically. And that's quite small for what it does. So if we just run it again, just to see, we got a whole mouse shape. It's moving around. You can click. So it's almost fully functional, I would say. Um, Let me just go through each section of the code here. So this line here, this is once we initialize it, this is for the first time, we get a status back basically, and the AX value will tell us if there's actually a mouse installed. So if we look here, we got a value of 3. Anything more than 0 means there's a mouse installed. The BX value tells you how many buttons the mouse has. The CX and DX are not used for that, but I'm just printing them anyway. And if we go lower, you can see this is where I'm showing the mouse, and If we go further down, um, this is where we're setting the shape. So we have an array called shape, and we're actually reading these values into it. So this is what makes this little crosshair here. And you can create your own shapes. I have a program for that as well. So this is the actual shape of that. So you can draw it, and it will actually generate the code for you. So if we go to GWBASIC, mouse shape data statements, and you'll get exactly what you're seeing here. Anyway, that's enough of that. And we're in a loop here, and we're constantly updating the location. So that all this that you're seeing here is this line down here. So the code is on GitHub. I'll leave a link to it. Try it out. Let me know how you like it.